Ever since that night in the decrepit ballroom, the city of New York seemed to whisper secrets to me. There was an unspoken bond, a connection that transcended time and space, binding me to its hidden mysteries. But with this newfound awareness came an insatiable curiosity and a longing to delve deeper into the city's enigmatic past. It was a foggy evening, the kind where the mist turns the city into a canvas of shadows and silhouettes. Drawn by an invisible thread, I found myself wandering the cobblestone streets of Greenwich Village, where the modern cityscape gave way to relics of a bygone era. As I walked, the mist seemed to thicken, swirling around me like a living entity. The faint sound of jazz drifted through the air, a melody from another time. Following the music, I arrived at a small, unassuming jazz club, its sign barely visible through the fog. The club, named the Whispering Sax, appeared to have been forgotten by time, its facade worn and weathered. Pushing open the door, I was greeted by a scene from the past. The club was alive with the energy of the roaring 20s, filled with patrons dressed in flapper dresses and sharp suits. The air was thick with cigarette smoke and the aroma of aged whiskey. A jazz band played on stage, their music a haunting blend of melancholy and euphoria. No one seemed to notice my entrance, as if I were a ghost among the living. I took a seat at the bar, the bartender nodding at me with a knowing smile. He poured me a drink without a word, the amber liquid glowing in the dim light. As I sipped my drink, I felt eyes upon me. Turning, I saw a woman at a corner table, her gaze piercing through the haze. She was dressed in a stunning red dress, her dark hair styled in perfect waves. There was an air of mystery about her, a timeless beauty that seemed out of place, even in this anachronistic setting. Compelled by an unseen force, I approached her table. She greeted me with a smile that held both warmth and sadness. "I've been waiting for you," she said, her voice a melody in itself. "You've seen the city's past, but you're yet to understand its heart." Her name was Lillian, and she revealed herself to be a spirit, a guardian of the city's memories. She spoke of the jazz age, of love and loss, of dreams born and shattered in the very streets of New York. As she talked, the club around us seemed to fade into the background, the music becoming a distant echo. Lillian told me of a hidden realm within the city, a place where the past and present converged. It was a sanctuary for lost souls, a haven where they could find solace and perhaps a path to redemption. She offered to guide me there, to show me the depths of the city's soul. We left the club and walked through the misty streets, the city transforming around us. Buildings shifted and changed, revealing their historical facades. The sounds of the modern world gave way to the echoes of the past, horse-drawn carriages replacing the roar of cars. After what seemed like an eternity, we arrived at a secluded courtyard, hidden from the world by ancient walls. In the center stood a magnificent tree, its branches reaching towards the sky, ablaze with ethereal light. "This is the heart of New York," Lillian whispered, "a place where all its stories converge." Beneath the tree, spirits of different eras gathered, their ethereal forms shimmering in the soft light. They were the embodiment of New York's history, each with their own tale of joy and sorrow, triumph and defeat. Lillian led me to the tree, and as I touched its bark, a flood of emotions and memories washed over me. I saw the city through the eyes of its inhabitants, felt their hopes and fears, their loves and losses. It was an overwhelming experience, a kaleidoscope of human experience spanning centuries. The spirits began to share their stories, each one a thread in the tapestry of New York's history. There was a young soldier from the Revolutionary War, still searching for his lost love, a jazz musician who had sacrificed everything for his art, a Wall Street tycoon from the Roaring Twenties, haunted by his greed, and many more. As I listened, I realized that these were not just tales of the past. They were reflections of the present, echoes of the human condition that resonate through time. The city, in all its chaos and beauty, was a living, breathing entity shaped by the lives of those who called it home. Lillian's story was the most poignant of all. She had been a rising star in the jazz scene, her voice enchanting all who heard it. But her life was cut short by tragedy, leaving her spirit bound to the city she loved. Her tale was one of unfulfilled potential, a reminder of how fleeting life can be. As dawn approached, the spirits began to fade, returning to their own corners of the city. Lillian took my hand, her touch as light as a feather. "Remember our stories," she said. "Keep them alive in your heart." With a final smile, she too disappeared, leaving me alone beneath the ancient tree. The courtyard was now empty, the magic of the night fading with the first light of day. I walked back to the waking city, the sounds of life returning to its streets. The experience had changed me, leaving an indelible mark on my soul. I knew that I would never see New York the same way again. The city was more than just a place. It was a living history, a collection of stories that spanned the ages. And now, I was a part of that story, a guardian of its memories. As I walked through the bustling streets, I could hear the whispers of the past, the echoes of a million lives intertwined with my own. New York was a city of ghosts, but it was also a city of hope, a testament to the enduring human spirit. And in that realization, I found a profound sense of peace. The horror of that first night had led me to a deeper understanding, a connection to the city that would last a lifetime. New York, with all its shadows and light, was not just a place I lived in. It had become a part of who I was.